contender, one championship. Ting, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, John? Thanks for having me on Kumite Radio. Yeah, man, it's been an exciting few weeks. It's good times.
Yeah. Now, since you last fought, like, what have you been doing? Because you've been pretty quiet.
Uh, yeah, I mean, social media don't pay bills, so I've been living life, man. I mean, we've been working on our team back here. I don't know if you've been noticed, but some of our amateur fighters been knocking people out left, right, and center. So the team is growing strong at Auckland MMA, and just been training, man. Just been training, doing a little bit of part-time work, and yeah, it's good, man. Just building up to Christmas and waiting for the next one.
Um, Now with one championship, they've been putting together all these fights, like lightweight fights, super fights, and open weight fights, and you got Ben Askren who's gonna retire soon, and he's fighting Aoki, and your name hasn't come up in any of this, the conversations of all these fights, happening, and it's like right around the weight divisions that you can fight in, right? Like you can fight in welterweight, you can fight in lightweight. Nowadays
Oh man,
you probably don't want to
I
really
hear
go
you,
down to
man.
featherweight, right?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, these are my thoughts, man. I mean, there's a lot of matchups. I mean, there's as you said, Askren and Aoki. That's a fight that I'm obviously closely looking at. I mean, come on, let's talk about last night.
Hmm.
Martin Nguyen and Folayang. Holy shit! I mean, just over the last 4 weeks, we've had four notable world champions made in the MMA world. Holy, I mean, come on, the UFC event, come on, Dillashaw, Rose, damn, we had some great fights. GSP, um, but holy shit, I mean, even Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee. But all I can say, I mean, all of these fights are around my weight, and if you were to ask GSP if he's impressed, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you he's not impressed, and I'm not impressed either. So, man, I'm glad we're sharing similar thoughts there, John.
Yeah. Let's go back to the Martin Nguyen and Edward Folayang fight. That one, watching it, live. I'm pretty sure you were there, glued and checking it out and seeing how Edward was fighting. He kind of seemed like he didn't change anything in his approach to the fight, even though it was a different opponent. Like when you fought him, it almost seemed like he was going to use the same game plan that he used against you, against Martin. And you guys are totally different fighters. Um, and do you think
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
was kind of stupid for, not really stupid, but like, I don't know what you would call it in his preparations for the fight, right? Was it kind of, because I'm pretty sure Martin was, he watched your fight closely to prepare for,
Oh, yeah,
so,
you could say that.
and what do you think? What do you think about his approach, Edward's approach, his game
I
plan?
mean, first of all, I want to congratulate Martin Nguyen being in the SEC Brotherhood. I mean, he deserves where he is right now. I mean, he put in the yards, and he knocked out two world champions, and he made his mark. So he deserves everything coming for him, and I wish big things for him. And big shout out to SSC, got my hat on, and obviously one championship, Auckland MMA, and anyone that puts these dreams happen for us. However, as you've been speaking, um, yeah, I mean, Edward looked like the exact same fighter, and yeah, I mean, it was just a matter of time before someone's gonna catch him. I mean, I was unfortunate enough not to be the one. It wasn't my time, but I mean, Martin stepped up and took what he could, and here's where we are now.
Yeah, I think Martin, he took that fight knowing I think he knew what he needed to do to beat Edward. He saw that from Edward's previous fights, where there was a lot of openings, a lot of key mistakes that Edward was making. I think Martin, because I don't feel that Martin just took that fight just because he wanted to fight at lightweight. I think he took it because he knew that he could beat him. Kind of like how GSP took the fight against Bisping, because he saw something
Yeah.
in that fight that he could, take advantage of. Do you see that from Martin?
I mean, one thing that I can see in Martin is that being in the Southern Pacific, meaning Australia, New Zealand, I mean, we fight, we fight, and that's kind of natural for us. And the opportunities around here is okay. It's okay. It's not as booming as Korea or Southeast Asia or America, but so when these opportunities arises to have big fights in Asia, man, it's like hitting a jackpot. So yeah, we take all of these opportunities. I mean, like I've always said, if I was given 12 fights in a year, I would take all 12 of them. So it's all about having these opportunities and these platforms for us to showcase our skills. So it's been a good journey.
All right. Well, now looking at the division, the lightweight division, you got a guy that's holding two belts, two divisions hostage, which is not always, it's never a good thing for anybody fighting in those divisions, right? Because if you want your shot, you have to wait. In my opinion, I think the next fight to make in the lightweight division would be you versus Martin, because he's holding the belt. You guys haven't fought. And, we talked about this a few times. I've talked about this with Martin. Like it's inevitable now.
It's exactly, yeah. I mean, if one championship wants to put on a real fight, a real scrap, a real fight that people want to see, then they know they got my number. They know what to do. I mean, we can do this. I mean, we never turn down a fight, and I'm sure Martin will be more than happy to put on a show for the world, and I mean, we're open for all these opportunities. Um, but yeah, I mean, we can see. I mean, he's obviously got something I want. He's got the title of the lightweight. He's a world champion, so he's surpassed. He's almost like kind of no. He worked his way in. I mean, he's really did himself proud. I mean, I'm proud of him, and like this is. I mean, I can't take anything away from him. He's done everything right. But I mean, obviously we're fighters, and we're gonna do what we do, and get in there.
You have to, I know you guys respect each other a lot. You guys have the same sponsors. Uh, it's it's the fight game. So when it's the fight game, you got to fight each other. Um, one championship they haven't gone into, New Zealand or Australia, and right now those countries, with the UFC just, even having like the big UFCs coming up soon, you got Robert Whitaker, who's the champion. It's, you guys need to have a show down there. What do you think is stopping you guys, the promotion from going down to those countries?
Um, could be a matter of a lot of things. It could be politics. It could be funding. It could be just lack of support. But I mean, trust me. I mean, these are what I mean, it's only my dream to be able to provide these platforms back to these athletes. I mean, like in my mind, I feel like fighters are underpaid. So there's a yeah, it'll be good to really grow the the industry here much more than it is. I mean, Asia has come. I mean, people in America will tell you that the growth of MMA in Asia has been amazing. So to compare with Asia is a bit unrealistic for us because I mean, in saying so, we do have fight events every second week. We have kickboxing, Muay Thai. We have a lot of professional MMA shows now. Um, but yeah, but in regards of a platform with the production level of like one championship and maybe some other bigger promotions where we're working up way up there. But trust us, we have some of the best fighters in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's no doubt. You guys do have some of the best fighters in the world, a lot of up and coming guys. And one thing that I notice about one championship is they do, whenever they go to a certain country for a show, they do sign a lot of local talent. And if they do have a show in New Zealand or Australia, you like a lot of the young guys that you guys have or you have in your gym, you could give them the opportunity. I think that would be huge, right?
I mean, absolutely, man. I mean, they're the businessmen. I mean, we're the fighters. I mean, we're ready. I mean, if there's such an opportunity, this could be a call out to any investors out there. Any people that want to develop the sport or want their brand exposed to potential billions of people. So, this is a call out. They are. If any businesses in Australia or New Zealand want their brand exposed to billions of Asians, especially in the Chinese, Southeast Asian market, this is where it's at. This is brand exposure. Yeah, I'm not the businessman here though, so I'll leave it to them.
For sure. Now let's put up some scenarios, right? Let's say I'm pretty sure Martin's not going to fight until next year. So let's say the next fight that they put together is the rubber match. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who is
Well,
this guy?
Oh shit, Polino.
Hey, Matt, joining us.
Yo.
Matt Polino. Matt.
What's up, guys?
You ready to eat some shit? Oh, you eating some shit already.
Matchmaker of GWFC in the house.
For sure. Hey, let's going back to my question though, Ev. Let's say that they put the rubber match together next year in the first quarter for the featherweight title against Alfarov. What do you do? What is your plan? I know you're ready to go right now, but who do you see as somebody that you can fight to like raise your stock in the lightweight division?
Let's just say on a confidential level, we're talking to one championship right now about my next fight, and it's a matter of either this year or next year. It was supposed to happen this November with Amir Khan, but something didn't go right. So we're looking at March, maybe next year in KL as the main event, obviously. So, there's a lot of things to consider. If they want me to build my way back up, if they want me to have a chance, the only fight that makes sense right now is the Martin Nguyen fight. So if that's not offered on the table, then, and I'm on the end of my contract, I might as well look around and see what's out there, So the options are there, so I'm not stressing.
But aren't you itching to get back in and beat somebody up and get something?
Oh man, trust me. Trust me. If there was a fight offered, I'm gonna sign it, and it's a matter of coming to the table and meeting. I felt like I've committed 6-7 professional years to the sport. I've been on 5 main events, sold out main events, 8-0 in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. The options are there. I don't feel like I'm in a box or anything. I feel like it's only gonna get better. I'm 28, peak of my career, and I'm ready to take on the world. As I was saying before, holy shit, Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee. Come on, can you tell me, are you impressed? That was a shocking fight, man. Interim lightweight world title. Oh my god. How can you gas out in the first round and get tripped up by a textbook fucking triangle? Get the fuck out of here, man. So I don't know. I think you can see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no doubt. You're right. You're fighting for the title and you gas out in the first round. That's not something that most fighters would expect to happen, especially from a wrestler like Kevin Lee.
Oh yeah. I was just saying it's not targeted at them personally, but just the level. Obviously one championship's the biggest in the East, and we got UFC in the West. Maybe it's time to link up, have the best fight the best, and do what the sport is all about.
For sure. Now with the welterweight division, you got Aoki fighting Ben Askren. You know, the undefeated Ben Askren. Aoki's moving up a weight class. Were you ever in the
He's
talks?
moving up 5-weight class. Man, Aoki fought at 145. He's going up to basically 84 kilos. He fought at 145 pounds. He's moving up to 84. He probably walks around at 77. You know, it's a stupid fight. Doesn't make any fucking sense. All what SC did with the fucking Martin Nguyen thing was hold up 2 divisions. What the fuck were they thinking? Like, you have so many good contenders. Like, what were you thinking? I mean, I'm surprised Aoki isn't getting a shot at Martin Nguyen next. I mean,
hey,
fuck.
don't say that. Don't say that.
Hey, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, like, Ev versus Aoki would have made more sense for Singapore. Ev versus Ben would have made more sense for Singapore. Ev beat the exact same guy in the first round, and they want to give him Amir Khan. It's an insult. The guy's been fighting cans, straight cans. He ain't fought nobody. He wants to call someone out because he wants a quick title shot. Man.
I mean,
joke.
the Singapore was a great card. I mean, Askren, big regards to his career. I mean, he's had an amazing career. So, I mean, if this is his real retirement fight, then all the best to him. But we had Angela Lee pulling out from Mai Yamaguchi. That would have been a good match.
I think that was the anchor of that card, though. I don't think people were really hyped for that Ben Askren Aoki fight. It was Angela Lee versus Yamaguchi.
Because you have a featherweight fighting a fucking welterweight. Of course no one's interested. The striking in that fight is going to be the lowest level striking in the ONE FC cage of all time. None of them strike. They both don't strike. Those guys, it's going to be a grappling match. It's not an exciting matchup whatsoever. Makes no sense. The Mai Yamaguchi fight was a great fight. We talked about this earlier this week. It was a great fight. We were looking forward to it. You know, Angela Lee got hurt. You know, God bless her soul. Thanks. She's doing all right. But, man, I mean, Amir Khan's getting a huge step up in competition from Adrian Pang, you know. And, you know, Adrian Pang is on the latter end of his career. So, you know, Ed was talking about, you know, he's supposed to fight Amir Khan. They took the easier fight. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Adrian Pang's up there in age. He's not an easy fight, but he's not Ev, you know, so.
You got this guy promoting, you know. He's got his promoter hat on today.
Hey, Matt, what sucks to hear about the Penang flood and cancellation of the Golden Warrior show, man. But that's a great event, man. That's the Golden Cage and everything, man. That's a huge platform.
Yeah, what happened with that? Like, was it all the rains coming from Vietnam or whatever?
Yeah, apparently. So, like, they told me through email, and then I did some research. And apparently, like, 5,000 people evacuated Penang. So it had to have been pretty bad. There was a typhoon. I don't remember the name of some fucking typhoon. And, apparently the floods were pretty bad, eh? I looked online. I saw some pictures. Because, you know, when you're dealing with people, sometimes they like to blow smoke up your ass. But unfortunately, this was an actual issue. And I hope the people in Penang are safe. And we look forward to throwing more fights in January. Add a couple more fights, and we'll keep shit rolling. But yeah, the flood was in Georgetown, basically where the cage is, like the K1 gym. Shit. So like, if you look at a picture online, you can see Penang Times Square, and the whole parking lot is flooded, like maybe 3 or 4 feet. And it was basically inaccessible to bring the cage from K1 to Spice Arena. So, like, that's the issue they were having. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. I had some good fights lined up, but we'll work past that. We'll go into the new year, and it'll be business as usual.
Now,
nice.
You know, like, for people that never been to Penang, can you guys, because I know you guys have been there a few times together.
Ooh,
so
Penang, the food in Penang is the best. Well,
I
it's
mean,
one of the best eating places for sure.
I mean, everybody goes to Thailand and Bali for like a resort, but they've never heard of Malaysia or even an island on Malaysia. So Penang is one of those islands that's a little bit developed with shopping malls and heaps of food, and obviously some top MMA action. So I mean, shout out to K1 Academy, shout out to Golden Warriors. Man, we had 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to Captain Lim.
Shout out to Ringo. No, like 2 weeks ago, we had two of our teammates, Ina Manasi and John Bruin from Auckland MMA. We cruised out there. We were matched up against a top fighter from Malaysia, Mima champion, Jace, and also someone from Carabao MMA. So these were some top professional fights that we had on for the MMA. And both of our fighters came out with a first round knockout. It was a good event, man. And then we had a huge feast after that and got on some jet skis and enjoyed Penang.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are having a good time out there in Penang. You know, most people don't know where. A lot of people think Penang is in Vietnam for some reason. Remember in Tropic Thunder, they said like Penang, like I was in the jungles of Penang, so they thought it was Vietnam or something.
Yeah, there's military bases, Fort Cornwallis in Penang. So there's history with the war a while ago. Yeah, so there's some links between there, but I'm not that brushed up with my history.
Me either.
I think like it's also good. Like a lot of people, you know, go to Penang that are traveling through Thailand. It's a good destination spot. It's nice, it's clean, it's got some beaches. You can do a lot of stuff. The food is amazing. And
Batu Ferlinghi.
Yeah, man, Batu Ferlinghi, man, it's a good spot. It's a shame that Georgetown is flooded at the moment. So. Yeah, we're really looking forward to that event. So we'll get Ev's guys back on the card soon. And yeah, be good fun. Fun in Penang.
Let's go back to the one championship. Now where does Edward go from here?
Retirement.
Where does he go? Like he got fucked up like bad.
Yeah, I mean it's not the first time.
Yeah, you're right, Ev. It's not the first time, and this time it was oof. Like it was scary.
I couldn't look at it. Yeah, I turned it off after that, but damn.
Yeah, so where does he go? You know, he was the golden boy for one championship in the Philippines, right? He had everybody behind him. Now, you know, losing like that in your home country, in front of your home fans is not a good look.
I mean,
where does he go?
I think the opportunities for him is endless. I mean, he could be a coach at Team Lakai. He could start Team Lakai in Manila. He could travel and just be a coach, or just keep developing the Manila MMA brand. But he's in regards of fighting. I mean, shit. It's like he should definitely take his time and just recollect himself a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's a big shout out to him and his team. I mean, he's a true warrior and a champion for real.
Yeah, I agree. You know, 100% with what Ev was saying. And, you know, it's a shame. That's the second time he's been knocked out in Manila, like, really badly. The first time he fought Timothy Nastyukin, he caught a double knee, which was really nasty. And then he got, you know, unfortunately knocked out by the right hand of Martin. So, like you can only take so many shots in the game, you know. And, you know, Edward's fought a who's list of, like, guys, especially in Asia. And he's definitely a top-level fighter on a world-scale level. You know, not many people have the striking ability he has. But he did get caught again. He got caught heavy, so he should take some time, recollect himself, and find out what he wants to do.
Maybe, you know, if Ev fights Martin, wins, he can maybe give him a rematch. You know, in the future.
It could be like a triangle grudge match kind of thing.
Yeah, hey, those are always good. I mean,
I mean, this is why I like you, John. You keep it real and relevant to Asian MMA. I mean, if Asia wants to put on the best MMA action, I mean, on a real level, I mean, I feel like me and Martin are one of the most developed fighters in one championship. We're the most well-rounded, not just in regards to fighting or performance in the cage, but just all around. We're just focused, we're well nutritioned, and we're always ready to go. And well, we look after ourselves, and we know what it takes to go 5 rounds or to perform. So if ONE FC wants to put on a fight that wants people to tune in, then this is the fight. I mean, there's no this is the fight. I mean, you can't just I mean, it's common sense.
We need in Asia. We need more of those like triangle grudge match type. Like trilogies. We need that. We need to have those things to where it builds a story for the people to come and watch the fights. People to get more attention to.
You just need actual fighters that are supposed to be actually fighting for the belt. You don't need some bullshit title limiter against a Thai guy and a fucking Russian who's the fucking want to fight in ONE FC. How the fuck does that make any fucking sense? This guy came into ONE FC fighting Cambodia, got choked the fuck out, and now he's fighting in a title eliminator match. I get you're trying to make like Asian warriors, but I mean, Shannon, he had a tough time with Peter Davis. You think he can hang with Martin Nguyen or Ev? Come on, man. Like that's the kind of stuff that makes like the promotion laughable. They need to stop doing all this stupid shit and just put the good fighters against the good fighters.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
all
lot
that
of
needs to happen.
there's a lot of great fighters in the lightweight division. The featherweight division, the lightweight division. Those are your money divisions in one championship, in my opinion.
70 and 65. Hey, how'd your boy Kevin Chung do? I didn't see the fight, but he lost by decision. So he hung tough. He hung tough, bro.
He hung tough, man. He hung tough. He hanged in there. He took some shots.
Yo,
holy shit.
This guy John was like, yo.
Yeah, I watched that fight.
He was like, I'm pulling for Kevin Chung because he's my homeboy because he's Korean. But I'm definitely going for Bellingham. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? You can't play the fucking
oh, damn.
Hey, let's keep
Kevin Bellingham is a beast, man. He's probably one of the most explosive guys.
Yeah, you got to keep it real. I've been watching Kevin Bellingham for a while, man. Anybody that been watching him, he got them hands. Like, if he puts them on you, you are out. Hey, Reese McLaren found out real fast.
Oh, damn, yeah.
So Kevin Chung, a guy that only has 5 fights, I think maybe 6, goes in there against a guy that's been fighting for years and years out here. He fought for the title and can put people to sleep and hung in there against him, and he took him down and had chances too. You gotta understand, he almost had chances to submit him.
Ooh, keep going, John. Hype him up. Keep going.
Yeah. Look at the positives.
Reese McLaren is a top-notch black belt, and he's a slick dude, man. He's one of the scrappers from here in the Southern Pacific. So, I mean, big shout out to him on the comeback performance. So, man, Reese McLaren.
Reese McLaren, I think Reese McLaren, if he would have got that fight to the ground, you know what I mean? Like, if is a big word in MMA, but if he did get that fight to the ground, I think it would have been easy night for Reese when he fought Kevin.
Hey, I tell you this though,
he was trying though.
This is what I'm saying. I will tell you this: Kevin Bellingham's got some motherfucking explosiveness, but man, also I was watching him in the back when they were in KO when he fought McLaren. He was rolling for heel hooks out of half guard and stuff. He's definitely been improving his ground game, man. Like, just watching him warm up, man, he looks solid, man. I definitely don't mind seeing him fight Bibiano again. I hope he puts hands on Bibiano and stops him. That would be cool. It's yeah, he's definitely a number 1 contender and shit. And he's definitely top-notch guy. How exciting would like a fight with like Cody No Love and fucking this guy, Cody No Love and Bellingham be, or Cody No Love or Dillashaw and Bellingham just on the feet.
No, I think that Cody Garbrandt versus Belagon would be a better fight, more entertaining. I think TJ Dillashaw would just smash Belagon. It wouldn't even be even close. He's
But
just
man,
too good.
Bellingham moves around so much, you know, like I don't know, man. Like I feel like sometimes like people think because the UFC is the biggest promotion in the world that the best fighters are always in the UFC. I feel like it's not really the case all the time. I feel like Bellingham could put fucking either one of those guys to sleep if he connects.
Well, he didn't put my boy Kevin Chung to sleep.
Oh. Yeah, I know. There's levels to this shit, and
man, there's
the
levels.
UFC guys are good.
But yeah, man, like the lightweight division, man, there's so many. There, even like Timothy Nastyukin is floating out there. You know, he's very dangerous, and he can fight anybody right now if he, you know, it doesn't matter who. You got a bunch of guys like Ev. If you're promoting the lightweight division, you know, who are the guys that are lined up here? You know, of course you are, but who else is here? You know, you got Timothy Nastyukin. Who else?
Who did he just beat?
I mean, I'm looking at the gold, man. I mean, me and ONE FC we're in a period right now that we're talking really closely. So I don't want to disclose too much, but like I mean, the options is there. I mean, they know where I'm at. They know that I want to progress in my career. I've said, I've been on many main events, many sold out main events, and I want to progress. So if it's Timothy, if it's Martin, if it's Aoki, if it's Askren, fuck, if it's who's the other champion? Oh, it's Martin as well in the featherweight. I mean, give me all of them. I mean, like, I'm ready to progress my career and keep developing. So if this is what it takes, then we're ready to go.
And you got to make that money too, right? If you don't fight, you don't make money, right?
It's all about the Benjamin.
Oh yeah.
You know,
At the end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Now you're digging. Now you're digging. I mean, that's what we talk. I mean, it is. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, a fighter, especially a professional fighter, we would dedicate at least five 5 hours a day to your a day. So that means training, prehabbing, stretching out, doing your yoga, doing your meditation, doing your hard training, doing your technique, doing your drills, doing your more rehab. You're doing a lot of you're looking after your body a lot, so it's a full-time job. So it takes a long time to get to a level to be able to sustain yourself through fighting. So like I said,
It ain't
as I
cheap
mentioned
either.
earlier, yeah, fighters are underpaid.
yeah, even like a regular person, if you go to a certain gym, it costs, you know, it's not cheap. So imagine a fighter who's doing all these different things. Now, Ev, what are you doing? Like, what is some new techniques that you're doing?
Decapitation.
Decapitation techniques?
Knock people's
I've
heads
been a
off, bro.
professional fighter for 6 years. I've fought on the biggest Asian promotions. I shouldn't have to still work in construction to pay my rent. Like in regards of techniques in the gym, though, like I mean, we've been working a lot on our fight team. So when the other fighters have fights, we kind of look after them as well. But like, it's all about improving every day, and that's through jiu-jitsu, through technique. We got coaches. We got 3 different black belts at our gym every week. We got Mike from the stables. We're always learning new things from our different coaches and adding them to our arsenal.
Now, I seen that you noticed that One Championship signed Garry Tonon, who has no MMA fights.
Woo!
And this is like news. You know what's fucked up is that some MMA sites, I'm not naming any, but they made it like it's a headline. Like this guy, Garry Tonon, is somebody.
Yeah.
He is somebody in the grappling world, but in MMA, he's nobody, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and
I mean,
what's up?
I mean, it's well put there. I mean, you just said it right there. I mean, he's the man in the grappling world, and he's entering an MMA world. I mean, that's a huge matchup. I mean, I would love to welcome him to the MMA world and show him what it's all about. I mean, he can dive for that heel hook all he wants, but I mean, if you're getting punched and elbowed in the face and getting cut up, I mean, it's a different world out there. But like, welcome to the One Championship, though. I mean, One Championship is obviously a huge brand for him to be exposed to, and it's I think it's a win-win on all parties. I mean, what I've noticed is that One Championship and many promotions are leaning towards the entertainment value of matchmaking and putting fights together. So I mean, man, I fight, so sign me up.
Yeah, it'd be entertaining to see Ev knock him out, knee him in the head when he rolls for that heel hook. Fuck, I'll tell you this. One FC is a media company. They're very good at promoting. You know, they do a good job. You know, shout out to Tammy, PR person over there. They do a great job. They work hard, and they do a good job of getting these media brands to back one and back one and back one. But like you said, I mean, Garry Tonon will probably fight someone from Egyptian top team in his debut. He'll do some devastating submission and put the kebab chef to sleep, and then they'll keep feeding him cans until he fights someone formidable so he has his skill set underneath him. So they're going to look after him at 1FC, especially since he joined the Evolve fight team, which is basically like the 1FC, like, watch your ass team. So, like, yeah, you know, he'll be well taken care of. He ain't going to fight no bangers. You know, he'll be there fighting the same guys Christian Lee fought for his first 5 or 6 fights before he gets his skill set underneath him. And then, you know, maybe in 3 to 4 years' time, we'll see him step up in competition and actually fight someone.
Do you see? So you're saying to me that they're going to use the boxing approach for Garry Tonon? It's just,
no,
you know.
I mean, they used it for all their fighters. Evolve did. I mean, Amir Khan, Christian Lee. They built them until they got to the point where they're comfortable in the cage. And they're very talented fighters. They're young up-and-comers. But they're not going to sign them and throw them into the fire like they shouldn't, you know? Yeah, they're definitely going to have to build him up because, you know, he's never fought before. If he goes up in there and he takes someone in, you don't want the Aaron Pico thing, you know? Aaron Pico is a great wrestler. He goes into Bellator MMA. He just got fucking rocked by a guy who had 10 professional fights. So they're going to give him someone that he can handily, you know, beat on the ground, get his confidence up, and then after that, you know, maybe in 3 years you'll see him fight someone who's season level.
All right, now let's move on to talking about, you know, we're in Asia, you know, of course, Ev fights for One Championship, but in the next couple of weeks we have UFC Shanghai happening, you know. And
there is no UFC Shanghai. Anderson Silva's off the card.
Fuck wait. So I want to get your thoughts on Anderson Silva and why, in my opinion, Anderson Silva is kind of like John Jones now. Like, you can't believe anything they say anymore. Like, they've been busted twice, both of them twice already by USADA. And does this taint them? Does this, you know, it messes up the whole UFC Shanghai card because he's off that card. He was the main event. And it seems like he's just hanging on. But does that taint their legacy, Ev? Do you think that getting busted twice, first time, you could give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Maybe something happened with supplements, who knows? But twice, it's clear, right?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, how old is Anderson? He's 40. His body needs to regenerate and look after himself. So he's doing what's good for him, for his health, and living for many more years. So I mean, it's a matter of who USADA and what UFC and what their objective is. If they wanna put GSP on the front line for getting busted, then they can do that tomorrow. But they're picking on these guys. So I mean, I don't want to get too involved in any of that. So, but you know how it is. Media is media.
Woo! How many people wouldn't fight in Asia if there was USADA? 90% of the roster at one of them.
fuck, let's go. Yeah, we should start a commission. Franchisee. Nah, they're in here. They out here. They out here.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, all I wanted to see was Anderson Silva beat Gastelum, so I could see Silva versus GSP. That's all I wanted to see. They make that fight, and they both retire after that. It's the only fight I wanted to see. The only super fight. And shit can't line up. You saw this fucking shit up. The fight was in China. They should have let that motherfucker roid up because everyone's on steroids anyways, and they should have let him fight. I mean, the card is absolute garbage now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cookie. I see you cooked.
Hey, they're like signing all these guys, right? And it's like the card is around 2 weeks away from now. And they're signing all these guys, and I'm a guy, I consider myself in the know, and I know Matt, he knows a lot of fighters, who they are, what their records are. Ev, you too, you're a fighter, you're doing your thing. And I'm looking at these guys, they're signing, and I'm like, I don't even know who the hell they are. I've never even heard of some of these guys.
You got to also realize a lot of the good talent in the North, even in Japan and North Korea, a lot of them are fighting locally. So, like, Road FC pays well. They got Pancrase, VTJ, that kind of shit. It does well. So they sign contracts to them. So, of course, the UFC is like, oh, you're not on exclusive contract. Let's get you out of there. I mean, when they went to the Philippines, they couldn't sign any good Filipino fighters because all of them were locked up by one or PXC. And, when was the last time the UFC put a good card on in Asia?
But you got to think, only promotions that lock down their fighters in Asia is only 2 promotions, which are One Championship and Road FC. Mostly other promotions will let their fighters go. So that's not, to me, to be honest with you, yes, Road and One Championship has a lot of their fighters, a lot of the best fighters locked down. But I don't think that's an excuse for the UFC to sign these dudes that nobody knows. And they're coming off losses, too. They're not even, like, on streaks or they've been winning. They're coming off losses. Like, they're coming off getting finished in their last fight. It's ridiculous.
They were relying on Anderson Silva. I mean, at the end of the day, Anderson Silva was the face of that card. And he got flagged by USADA. So who's Gastelum going to fight now? Or is he just up completely?
Well, hey, this just in. Michael Bisping is going to step in.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't he on a knockout suspension or something?
No, he just got choked out. So, that's
my bad. He went out, though. He went out.
And it's in China, so there's no commission. Remember that. There's no commission. The UFC regulates themselves in China, so they could basically put out any way that they want on that card. So Michael Bisping is the name that's out there right now.
That's interesting because, Matt, Kevin Gastelum could probably be the world champion at 170 pounds. Man, he beat Tyron Woodley up in New Mexico. I thought in Mexico City, excuse me. Thought he won that fight. Super talented, but he's like one of those guys like Johnny Hendricks. He's just at a really physical disadvantage. He can't fight at that way. He's too small. And Michael Bisping, I feel like that'd be cool to see him turn around, but I think he'll take another L if he fights Gastelum.
Yeah, I could see Gastelum knocking out Michael Bisping.
Yeah, TKO finish.
Yeah, because it's he just fought 2 weeks ago in New York City. I don't know. That's not a good fight for Michael Bisping. It's weird that he would take that fight. It's too dangerous, don't you think?
Man, he's all confident and he's fought in everybody, So I mean, at this point in the career, maybe he feels like he wants to just get back in there and get a win. Sometimes it's like that. I feel like he was winning the GSP fight and got caught. So maybe he feels all right and he's ready to jump back in. You never know. So
also, when you're making six figures a fight, I think that if you could get back in the cage as soon as possible, and I don't know, Ev, what do you think? 6 figures? You gonna jump in?
Oh man, I do. I heard people for less, but I mean now we're talking though. I mean, those are the figures that we should be. I mean, big top fighters should be getting paid. I mean, if they're selling out all these shows, billions of viewers, you'll think there's cash money behind that. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't. How much do you think Martin or Edward is getting paid?
I bet Edward's probably on 25 and 25.
No, this is all just confidential.
Well, we're just making guesses, man. Like, if we're making guesses,
I mean, ONE FC should disclose them, like UFC.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, or it should be all disclosed, like UFC. They should just make a public post and show everybody. I mean, I'll be back here and people will be like, "Oh, bro, yeah, Ting, you must be like a millionaire now." I'm like, yeah, we grinding.
Well, I heard in Road they're making. What I heard in Road is these are just rumors. I'm not saying that they are making this money, but what I heard is that they're making like 20 and 20.
Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, her record is not that impressive.
No,
but
not
I mean,
Road.
her
I'm talking
skills.
about Road FC.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Road is well up there. I mean, the lightweight tournament that's going on right now for $1 million. I mean, that's the
you should be
attention
in that
right
thing,
there.
Man.
I mean, yo, you know where I'm at.
Yeah, that to me is like that tournament could have been so much bigger if these promotions could have worked together and put together the lightweights that should be in the tournament. If it was an Asian MMA tournament, like it should have been, they should have worked together and put the lightweights together.
Man.
You know, even if you don't put the champions in there, just put the best guys from each promotion and just let them fucking bang it out. And for that $1 million, fuck.
I mean, I told you already that tournament sucks. I'm not a fan. Someone's gonna get a clean $1 million, you know. I guarantee Quan beats everyone in that tournament anyway. So.
Oh hell no, man! Come on. Have you been watching the fights? I don't think he's gonna win against anybody. Most likely, who's gonna win is either Hani Torres from Brazil or the Mansour from France, which they've been just choking everybody out, and they've been fighting too. Quan, he's been fucking sitting there getting fat, doing nothing.
That's what you think.
Oh.
I'm telling you, in Korea,
John's one of those social media critics.
I am in Korea. I know this dude. I've seen him around, man. He gets like super big, you know, like when he's not fighting.
Nah, let him be. He's happy.
Yeah, of course he's happy. You know, he's on TV over here. He's doing.
I bet.
Right? He's doing his thing.
How's the Wolverine?
Huh?
How's the Wolverine?
Fighting for some small ass promotion, beating up cans over here.
Oh, I mean, building up that record. I mean, he's gonna be a huge star soon.
I don't know how long you could last beating up, you know, cans, like for real cans, like dudes that are working at the gas station. You know, like they don't even train and shit.
Best fighter in Korea is Sochul Kim. That's the truth. He's the best fighter in Korea.
He's one of them. He's
the best fighter in Korea, hands down. Man, but I've never cheered so loud when he knocked out Leandro Issa in ONE FC. Woo! Ping!
Oh, damn.
That guy looks like he plays Dota for a living. Guy's a savage.
He's a savage. Man, you know, ONE Championship, they have, like, a gang of great fighters, and they have so many matchups, you know, going back to the promotion that they can make next year. I think next year is going to be huge for ONE Championship, to be honest with you. If they put the right matchups together.
Let's be optimistic here.
Yeah, we're being optimistic here. Next year, they're going to go to Korea. You know,
they're not going to
Korea, flying over here.
They're not going to Korea. They're not going to Korea.
Man, you guys are so critical. I mean, ONE Championship is no doubt the top 2 promotion in the world right now. I mean, I see it right behind UFC. So they have announced, I think, 14 shows. Well, I mean, however many shows next year. So I mean, I'm ready to sell out any of those main events. So, yo.
For sure.
I'll tell you this.
We're being optimistic, man.
But they're not. They're not.
I mean, they're going to
Korea.
Tokyo too, right? They're going to Japan. I mean, how sick would that be?
They've been going to Tokyo since 2012. What are we talking about here? They're not going to Tokyo.
Hey, I heard rumor in the rumor mill is that they're going to Pyongyang, man. At the end of December.
Yeah, it would be sick hard.
No, wait. They announced a show in Vietnam as well. So there's only one match out for that card.
Yeah.
So that's a guaranteed sold out.
You gotta sell that, Ev. You gotta sell that one.
Man, I'm the fighter, man. Shit. I mean, what do they want me to do? Fuck.
It would be perfect for you guys to have if the fight happens in Vietnam, have a media tour, man. Go to New Zealand, go to Australia, go to Vietnam, and go to Malaysia, because those are the 4 spots you guys can go promote this event. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a large scale. I mean, it depends what the objective is. I mean, if we just want to scrap, if they want to see real fights, they want to see most of the 2 developed fighters in the division to scrap it out. I mean, if they want to see a real fight, this is it. So, I mean, but if they want to get the numbers in and it's a numbers game, then maybe we've got to do that whole tour thing. But let's. I mean, it's beyond my power to arrange what happens. But what I can do is be in the gym every day and keep sharpening my sword.
That's perfect, man.
Man, as you can see, I'm not the top salesman, but like, yeah, man. I mean, that's the only fight that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will vouch. A lot of people will want to see that fight. Yeah, but I mean, my eyes on the gold. I mean, if Aoki pulled out next week, I'll be right in there.
I mean, let's just cut the bullshit. I've been being super nice. Who the fuck else is Ev supposed to fight? Who's he supposed to fight? Like, the only fight that makes sense is for the title. There's no other fight that makes sense.
Hey, Ev just said he was going to sharpen his sword, and you're wearing a sword around your neck.
Yo, this is it, right?
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a sword. It's not a cross.
No, I'm talking about like the samurai life, not some Viking.
This is not a Viking sword.
Yeah.
America.
Miami sword.
Well, maybe if it does happen, you could have Matt do a bunch of interviews and just hype it up because he's the hype train. He can do it.
Man, he's a hype man, all right.
Yeah. I've been hyping up Ev on every single one of these shows. I've been like, come on, you think Martin can hit Ev?
No, I mean beyond this, I mean it's all about developing the sport in Asia. I mean, like you can see in Malaysia, we see these promotions popping up, we see these champions popping up. I mean, it's all props to the gym owners and coaches and obviously the fighters and athletes out there that's building to the sport. So I mean on a root level, that's what it's all about: growing the sport, having the best fight the best, and sharing the values and the lifestyle that you get along with it. So that's really what it's all about. So but all the extra stuff, I mean, I didn't sign up for it, but I mean, if there's a contract and there's some digits on it, then let's go.
All right. Well, ending it on a positive note, Ev, it was good talking to you again. I know you got to go to a training session now. You got to go sharpen your sword. It's never ending journey, right? So thank you for coming on. Polino, it's always good.
All right. Thanks for having us, man. I mean, shout out to Kumite Radio, keeping the news relevant. Definitely one of the top podcasts in Asian MMA at the moment. Shout out to One Championship. Shout out to all the top promotions out there and making the sport alive.
Shout out to everyone Ev said. And on another note, Gianni's got to fight for the belt next. Suba versus Marias, co-main event behind
Boom.
Ev and
KL.
Nguyen in KL. That's the only card you need to make. Hurry up, Matt, here before the rest
I
of
gotta
the
go, bro. I gotta go.
All right,
Peace.
peace.